Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors! On this episode of Toys Are the Way, we'll be taking a look at the latest addition to the Vintage Collection's Army Builder 4-pack, the Imperial Snowtrooper. Welcome back, gang. So, Imperial troops have entered the collection room. Repeat, Imperial troops have entered the collection room because it just seems like all the Vintage Collection deliveries for the year are gonna pour on in before the end of the year, which is cool, but also, man, it's been so many packages, one after the other after the other. But like I said, it's always cool to get more stuff into the collection, and this time we're getting another Army Builder 4-pack, the Snowtrooper. Definitely a smart one to get out there, and while I bought a bunch of these on card when they originally came out and before this was revealed, I am happy to get a couple more of these for the collection. So with all that being said and done, don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, or even become a channel member, and let's take a closer look at the packaging and figure. Taking a look at the box, we have our standard packaging when it comes to these Vintage Collection Army Builder 4-packs. We essentially have a white box with a simplified line art illustration showing the troopers that are included in the set. Now typically we do have a pop of color on these, usually an orange pauldron or something like that to add a little pizzazz. Now the Snowtroopers are very simplified because they essentially just wear all white. They're trying to be camouflaged in the snow. But you do have a small pop of color here with those red buttons on their armor. But other than that, we have the Star Wars logo and a simplified name pill showing Snowtrooper on the bottom as well. Taking a look at the top of the box, we have the Vintage Collection logo and the Snowtrooper once again holding his rifle and looking absolutely brilliant on the top of this box. Now this is another way to display it if you choose to do so. You can have these lined up like books on your shelf and just show off all the different Army Builder sets that we've gotten over the years. And on the back of the box, you have an image of exactly what's coming in this set. 4 Imperial Snowtroopers with a couple of rifles and E11 blasters. And once again, you have the Star Wars logo, Disney, and a couple other things that aren't really all that interesting. So overall, another great addition to the Army Builder 4-pack boxes, and I'm definitely excited to get these all opened up and put into my Hoth display. And if you're new to collecting, or these Army Builder 4-packs in general, you are simply going to get a box with a number of troops inside. So you have a cardboard tray which helps divide them, and then each troop is individually wrapped in like a wax tissue paper type of deal, which if you open up like so, you have your trooper inside, the backpack, the standard E11 Stormtrooper rifle, which you get 4 of these total in the set. And then you get the DLT-20A rifles that you typically see with Snowtroopers. You're only getting 2 of these, unfortunately, but still cool that we're getting them in this set. Taking a close look at the Snowtrooper out of the packaging and focusing on some of the details on the helmet and the paint applications, it is a very nice figure. I know some people aren't exactly fond of this helmet. I don't think it's all that bad. It does have a bit of a flat top, I will agree, but overall I think the proportions on it are great. And then you can see nice paint applications here on the chest armor and stuff like that. If you're new to collecting or just haven't picked up this figure yet, it's definitely a good one to get into your collections. So pretty decent stuff. And if we bring in the standard carded release, you can see that these are pretty much identical. There's nothing that's really sticking out to me in terms of like differences in the paint applications or anything like that. They look to be pretty much exactly the same. So once again, if you maybe don't want to pay a couple extra dollars to get the carded version, you do get a little bit of savings when you buy these Army Builder 4-packs. So it is a nice way to, build up your ranks in your collection at a slightly lower price point. So that is good. But yeah, overall, some great details on this figure if you don't have this one yet. Moving on to the rest of the figure in the articulation, it has everything that you saw on the standard release. It's got all the modern stuff that you want to see on a Star Wars action figure. You got that barbell hip system down here, which is wonderful. Great range of motion when it comes to those lower legs. You have a swivel at the thigh, which is fantastic. A great bend at the knee. And then you have rocker ankles. So this troop will definitely display quite well in your collection room and Hoth displays. Moving on to the upper body, you got a bit of a crunch going on here, which is great. You can move it 360 degrees if you choose to do so. You've got soft plastic shoulder armor here, which is not going to hinder any of this upper arm articulation, so that is wonderful. You got another hinge at the elbow, and then you have hinges at the wrist, which are always great in my opinion. They allow the figures to interact better with the accessories and weapons and just point them in more convincing manners in my opinion. Moving on to the back of the figure, we do have that backpack, which is removable. It has a standardized peg that you see on most of our modern figures nowadays, so you can swap this out for a different jetpack or something if you choose to get real crazy with your collection. But love that standardization there. And then the backpack, like we saw earlier, it's got some really nice paint applications on it. And yeah, overall, very, very delightful figure to have in the collection. I will point out that the blaster does not have any paint applications on it, neither does the rifle. And this one's kind of made of a slightly not so much black, but like kind of like a gunmetal gray color. I don't know. It's not exactly pure black, and I kind of really dislike that when it comes to Hasbro. There's no consistency across some of the blasters that we see on different troops and stuff like that, and I would prefer them to always be a rich black plastic, and that is something that I really wish they would do a better job on with all the Stormtroopers, Clone Troopers, Snowtroopers, etc. Every trooper should just have a nice pure black weapon, in my opinion. You can see all 4 troops out of the packaging and displayed with all of the accessories. As I mentioned before, you're getting 4 of those E11 blasters, and when the 2 troops are holding onto the larger rifles, they don't really have holsters to put those blaster rifles into, so I kind of just have these 2 other guys holding onto those accessories for the moment, but you may want to put those away into baggies or give them to other figures in your collection. But overall, a great set. Now, the one thing that's very positive about this set is this is one of the first times in a while that we're getting like all like grunts. So this is a straight up Army Builder 4-pack. You don't have to buy one of these and get extra like characters that are unique like we got before with the Night Trooper set, where I didn't really want to have 4 Enochs, but I ended up having at least 4 Enochs, which is not really a smart move when you're trying to build a lot of these. You want to build consistent numbers here, and this is much more successful in my opinion. We did get the original Stormtrooper pack a long time ago as the very first Army Builder 4-pack, and I do think that one was pretty successful because the only thing that was like setting a trooper apart was the pauldron, which is removable, so you could have 4 Stormtroopers and just like build up your ranks. But I did want to say that this is a very successful set, so good job Hasbro on this, just getting us plain grunts to help build out our Imperial forces. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taking a look at this latest addition to the Vintage Collection's Army Builder 4-packs, the Imperial Snowtrooper. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to smash a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.